just going back to those early days, who are some of the people that are still here today that you remember, or folks who have, you know, were foundational in terms of helping the church get going back in the early 1960s?
Well, Don and Ada Graves are obviously the first that come to mind because they, as I'm sure you will hear, they were one of the founders of the mission and actually went around Cherry Hills with flyers introducing when we were, and I never was in Greenwood, or Greenwood Elementary, I think it was. But so Don and Ada are just ongoing. Others, I think that I'm probably maybe fifth, sixth in line at this point. Sally and Dave Doty, the crabapple tree behind us is in memory of them. But they were extremely instrumental. I do recall when we had a dirt parking lot at one point, and so Dave headed up a campaign, I think it was called Pennies for Parking or some such thing, and raising money to pave part of the lot. Sally, of course, for those that remember, Sally was quite the character, and she, again, another thing, speaking of Sally, she did the calligraphy for the memorial books. And if you ever want to see kind of a broad history of St. Gabriel's, the memorial gift books are in the narthex of the church in a case, and thumb through it. It's really really interesting to see the contributions of so many people. Jane, so many of these people have such wonderful stories.
Let's go.
For instance, the John Ramsey Memorial Golf Tournament, which we just completed, Golf and Grace, was started way before John died. And at that time, it was still called the John Ramsey Memorial Golf Tournament. John's wife, Martha Ramsey, brought Daughters of the King to St. Gabriel's in the 80s when they moved here from Omaha. Campbell was the first woman on the vestry, and in those days, as we well know, women's role in the church was, as most places, was minimal. So Ruth was the first woman. I served innumerable times, and I was senior warden twice here.
Will you do it again? I could edit out your answer.
Well, okay, the answer would be hell no.
I might keep that.
Okay. Let's see. Bob Connell. Bob and is next to my husband, Jim Stewart, and Marge is there too. We always said we were going to be together, and they're waiting for me because they need a fourth for bridge. But Bob was responsible, for so much here at St. Gabriel. The altar is handmade by Bob, as many other things. Marge, for years, was our flower person, and it was flowers from their yard that they were always, that was just her job. So Bob there's lots of good memories. Bob was an outdoor guy and responsible for a lot of the formation of the columbarium. As I mentioned, Hank Henderson, Hank and Jane were a big part of the church for many, many years. Jane was Alder Guild directress for a long, long time. Let's see, we're looking here at Frank Ward. Frank was the first recipient of a prayer quilt when we started that ministry 20 years ago. And we three of us gathered and I had read a article about a prayer quilt ministry, and so we kind of put it together and did a quilt for Frank, who was junior warden at one time. Let's see, who else do we have here? We have a number of priests here. Father Cyril Coverley, which right now the green frontal, the altar frontal, was given in his memory, and it was made by the Embroidery Guild from St. Barnabas Church here in Denver in memory of Cyril. Cyril was kind of the old curmudgeon. I probably should add that I ended up as parish administrator here at St. Gabriel's for about 20 years. Thank you, John Andrews. But,
and thank you, Sharon Stewart.
But so Cyril was one of the priests that was here at the time, and at that time here again, women did not serve behind the altar, and he begrudgingly asked me if I would like to, and I of course said of course. So I guess I was the first.
Wonderful
woman.
to break the
the barrier.
the altar rail barrier.
That's right. That's right. So I was a lay reader and chalice minister, and it was, and I still am an acolyte, which
Yay!
kind of amusing. As I mentioned, Martha started Daughters of the King. She's next to Barbara Hulick, who was directress of Altar Guild for many, many years. The Lehmans, they were certainly very much part of this congregation from early on. Their daughter April is buried here. We have a Curcio group that after 30 years we still meet every Tuesday morning on Zoom, and we get to see Lindsay.
It was so
down
nice to
there.
see them a couple of weeks ago.
It
when
was.
They
They
came
had
through. Yeah.
it was a wonderful trip. Doris and Nick Reese. As you well know, there's a literary society here at St. Gabriel's, and started by Wayne Walker, who's around here someplace. But Nick was very much part of that. And the Literary Society is actually the men's poker group, as many of you know. So,
Love it. Gosh, there's so many names.
there
In,
are,
in the 20
yeah.
years I've been here, knowing a lot of these folks, and they're predating me by many, many
Oh,
years,
yeah.
but certainly, and when I came, certainly major parts of this community.
Here's Jane and Jess Wetmore, who, as I mentioned, were one of the early, along with the Doties. And the Doties are down here. So,
Yes, there they are, right down here.
Ed and Harriet Stearns. Ed, the cross on the north side of the building in front of the parish hall entrance was made by Ed. And so, and more priests. I don't know, we seem to.
Yeah, collect them.
Yeah, yes. We've had, through the years, many different priests, interims, and they've all had a significant role in St. Gabriel's. Bob Smith was one. As I mentioned, Cyril Coverley back there, but
The Father Latta.
yeah,
is
Art
here.
Latta's here. We have
Bill Henwood, who wasn't a deacon here, but his wife was.
let's see, Hugh Sweeney, Sandy, his husband, and Hugh was a great character around St.
Yes, he
Gabriel.
was.
And
He and Lynn Wilson came out to South Carolina to watch me preach as when I was a candidate for the position here. And as soon as he got to our house, he took off his dress clothes and put on a T-shirt or something like that, right there in the driveway. And
Yes, he was. He was always our bartender at so many of the parish functions. We at times would have some money raisers, and Fab 50, I think that was our 50th anniversary silent auction, and we had a couple of those. So that's just a few of the people that
yeah,
have been such a part of this congregation in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us who we are. It's wonderful to see these names out here and to know that they're not far from us. And obviously, I'm sure, encouraging us for another 65 years.
Amen. Amen. Sharon, thank you very much, and thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, you're welcome. It was fun walking down memory lane.